hello. How's everyone doing? Um, Today I want to talk about childhood friends. Do I have childhood friends? If we were to define childhood friends to friends from before seventh grade, before like elementary school, I mean, like including elementary school, before middle school, I guess I have one or two. To be honest, at this stage in my life, having childhood friends feels like a statement. Like, I have a great personality, so I could keep my childhood friendship until now. And there was a time I tried my best to keep my childhood friendship no matter what because of that statement. Imagine you have your childhood friends at your wedding. Imagine you say you have friends from elementary school. That's a statement, at least for a lot of people who left their hometown after a certain age. And there was a point where I really wanted that statement as well, but not anymore. I have multiple friend groups, partially because I moved a lot growing up, and partially because I had different phases growing up, if that makes sense. I have friend group from school, from like work, from like an English center I used to teach English. And I have a friend group who are like artists because I used to be an artist. I don't think I can say I have childhood friend group anymore. I'm in touch with only one of them, and today I hung out with her actually. So I got this for a friend of mine. She loves cats. She's such a cat person. So I got this for her. Just a little, Christmas gift for her. I couldn't like gift wrap this, but yeah, because I literally just got it. And then these candies, I guess it was on the house. Growing up, I moved a lot, like a lot. And I spent 6 years in this small town where I formed my childhood friend group. Back in the day, I was very active and I loved connecting people. So basically, I picked people that I liked from different classes and grouped them as a friend group. Ever since, like, we made a group chat, traveled together, grew up together, and the rest is history. But the thing is, we were living in a very small town, and I moved to a bigger city towards the end of my middle school. And a couple of them moved to different towns for high school as well, and the rest stayed. Fast forward, I went abroad. Some of them went unresponsive in group chat, even left the group chat. You know how the group chat can go. And I don't know what happened exactly, if they continued hanging out or went separate ways. But for me, I was abroad. And in the beginning, I was doing my best to be in touch with them. And I was pretty active in the friend group, in the group chat. But as time goes, as you can imagine, the group chat became, quiet. No one was throwing any like stupid jokes there anymore. And I personally felt very distant from them and some type of like jealousy, to be completely honest. Like seeing them like strengthening their friendship without me, all those. Right now I don't have Instagram, but back then I had Instagram. I saw all those photos of them hanging out, happy. I mean, I was happy that they are happy, but that pang of jealousy that you feel, it's immature, but I was young. That's my excuse. After a couple of years abroad, I visited Korea and the group reunited. It was weird. It was the same, so it was weird. It was weird not because of a lot of things has changed, but because nothing has changed. It felt so uncomfortable because nothing has changed, if that makes sense. I even felt estranged because the group felt unchanged while I was such a different person back then. Of course, I'm not saying like I know ins and outs of like what happened in my friends' like life. I'm pretty sure they went through their own adulting. They like experienced a lot of things which like changed them. But at least that's how I felt. The group didn't change, but now I'm such a different person. We couldn't laugh at the same point. We didn't have similar interests anymore. Especially for me at that time, I was very interested in like social issues, like racial issues, political issues, social issues like etc. And that were like more geared towards American society, I think. I was in a life stage where those topics were so new to me and I was learning a lot from my peers and from my environment in general. Because growing up in Korea, I really didn't have a chance to be interested in those social issues. Like if you understand Korean academic environment, it's rigorous. Everything is geared towards the university admission and like I didn't even get to play sports. Like I was just studying, and that's all I did. I was not, it's not like I was not allowed, but I just didn't have a room to expand my perspective and be interested in all those like other like topics. And after all those years, I was first exposed to those like social, political, racial issues. Essentially, like when I was exposed to like what's called life, it was eye-opening. And I wanted to talk about it with my friends, just like we want to talk about like what we are interested in with our friends. But at that time I felt I couldn't do it. I couldn't share my interest with my childhood friends anymore. Fast forward, I went back to the States and went back to my normal life. And I noticed that the number of texts that I sent back and forth with my childhood friends has like significantly decreased. I was not in touch with them anymore. But I mean, there was no argument, no drama, no resentment, no connection either. But I kept in touch with one of them. Let's call her A, and today I hung out with her. Um, Unlike a lot of my friends in that like childhood friend group, she went to college. A went to college and is living in Seoul, like the capital city of Korea right now. The reason why I mentioned like college is because of the life experience. I think one of one of the things that took me out of the childhood friend group is that college experience and how it took me to my current life trajectory. And that one friend who went to college, we share a lot of like concerns and questions that we're trying to answer as we experience our 20s. And those questions, concerns are really, not really, but like those concerns and questions, a lot of them are based on or is a like pure reflection of our college experiences. Also, as like recent college graduates, I'm not saying everyone has the same college experience, but if you took this similar life path, you share similar life stages, and according to the life stages, you share like similar concerns. That's friend A and I guess. And one of the things that we talked about was that now our paths are very different from the rest of the group. And naturally, that led us to have different interests in life and be in different life stages. And naturally, that kind of like took us out of the friend group, especially like me. I think friend A is still in touch with them. And whenever she goes back home to see her parents, she hangs out with them. And like this is another thing. Like my parents don't live there anymore. I have no reason to visit the town. I mean, technically I can go visit them, but let's talk about other friends in that friend group. Should we call her B? Um, so there's B. When I came back to Korea after spending years abroad, I actually didn't reach out to my childhood friends. I was preoccupied with a lot of stuff, doing my best to get my life back together, readjusting to, Korean culture, society, and like family dynamic, etc. I guess it was just not my priority to reach out to people and hang out with them. But I was still active on my blog. I shared my daily life, and one of my friend groups, so B, saw it. Maybe all of them did, but who knows? And B reached out to me saying she's like 서운해, so she is disappointed that I didn't reach out to her, although I was in Korea. And she sent me this like long text saying like how frustrated, like how disappointed she is because I didn't reach out to her. Honestly, the first thought that came to my mind was that am I obligated to reach out to them? Like, am I supposed to like report them that I'm in Korea? But by that point, like, we haven't talked for so long. Like, of course, like someone might say, you are just like blessed to have those like childhood friends who reach out to you and try to like hang out with you when you are back in Korea. But the thing is, like, for me, it felt a little weird to reach out to people who I haven't in touch with like for what, like several years, like for months. I guess I do understand where the friend B was coming from, but and I do understand we used to be really good friends. But are we though? Do I know you anymore? Like, do you know me? We haven't talked for so long, for months, for years. And if you say that was because I was abroad, that doesn't make sense because iMessage are delivered regardless of your location. FaceTime, that works so well regardless of the country you are in. And one of the frustration that I felt, but I didn't communicate it with them, is that at one point I felt I was always the one who reaches out. And they were sometimes like kind of surprised that I reached out. After having those experiences, I guess I didn't want to reach out. And there's another friend, let's call her C. I actually met up with her in Seoul a couple of months back. She actually saw my blog as well. She was following me. She has been following me for like years, I don't know. Um, and she knows that I'm admin about like going to the town where they live because it's such a like small town, and like I don't necessarily enjoy going there. My parents are not there. I don't have any other reasons to visit. Technically, I could go visit them, but so she came to Seoul. Honestly, I was not looking forward to meet her. I was not very excited, but I was half curious and half hesitant. I was curious how she grew up, basically. We haven't seen each other for 7 years, and a lot of things happened to me during those years, and I'm pretty sure a lot of things happened to her as well. She went through her own adulting, and I was curious, like, where she is in life. And Loki, I wanted to be amazed. Was I amazed? No. I guess I was expecting her to talk about her career and be excited about the future, vision, passion, all those things. But I couldn't see any of that. Like, she was married to this idea to settle down in that like small town where she was born and raised. She had a job that she was not excited about. And I was so confused because back then, like 7 years ago, she was very lively and she was looking forward to her future. She always had a plan to like go to a bigger city and have her education, but I couldn't see any of them anymore. Like, am I judging her for deciding to settle down in that small town where she was born and raised? Maybe. I personally really didn't enjoy my time with her talking about the past. Because she was keep talking about like what happened in middle school, what happened in elementary school, but I'm not there anymore. I do understand that I might be judging her and maybe I'm not a good friend, but to be completely honest, I don't think much about it. It's our life, it's our decision. I'm not someone to say that's wrong or that's bad. That's her decision, which is different from mine, and that's totally fine. But what I'm saying is, she was very different from who she used to be 7 years ago, and it almost felt like she just gave up. And seeing her talking about her past again and again and again, how we had fun in the past, I still don't know how to process that emotion. Like, how I felt looking at her eyes. I felt like they were still living in the past, and I am not there anymore. I'm not saying they were bad, and maybe I am bad for not being able to just enjoy talking about the past and like laugh talking about our childhood together. But I just didn't enjoy that interaction with my childhood friends. I still don't know how I feel about it. Social media is such a weird thing because you get that, like sneak peek of life of someone you used to know or like someone you knew for like 5 seconds. You get to see sometimes like nitty gritty details of someone's life that you didn't expect yourself to see. It can cause some trouble as well. Now I don't have Instagram, but I still have a blog that all of my childhood friends are following. And for YouTube, I intentionally didn't share it with a lot of my friends because social media, in a way, creates like false connection. When you're watching someone's YouTube channel, you see them talking to the camera, you see their daily lives, and you feel connected to them. But is that really a connection? Is that like two-way connection, really? Especially for me when it comes to childhood friends and social media. I've I felt this like multiple times running my blog. I share my daily lives and I talk about myself to a certain degree on my blog and my friends see them. But so on their end, they've been seeing me getting those like life updates, but on my end, I don't know what's going on in your life. On my end, in my perspective, we haven't talked for so long. That weird discrepancy that social media created, I don't like it. That's why I didn't share my YouTube with others. Like if you actually want to know like what's going on in my life, if you actually want to like keep in touch with me, please just call me. Like I would love to talk to you. On a related note, maybe we can ask ourselves, do we feel we are still friends when we haven't talked to each other for months just because we like each other's posts? Do we think we know each other just because we are following each other on social media? I think that's empty connection, at least in the context of like childhood friends that I'm talking about. I guess I was yapping for 20 minutes to say I don't have any childhood friends anymore. I have one. I guess like people usually expect to feel understood by their childhood friends, but I don't feel understood by my childhood friends anymore. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys watching this video, or a lot of people, feel the same way, especially for people who left their hometown at a certain age. There's no one to blame, it's nobody's fault. It's just a part of life, I think.
Rollercoaster.